See what I'm doing? What we're going to look at is you're going to find the location of the temporomandibular joint, so where the mandible joins up with the temporalis. All right, so temporalis, we've already looked at this concept of the temporal bone and the temporalis muscle going through this bone which joins up through the round to the front of the eye. So if we sort of pinch it, like we sort of talked about for the spine of the scapula, we sort of crimp it a little bit, we can feel that bone running backwards, and we just follow the line of the bone back until we get to the tragus of the ear. So this is this lumpy, sticky outy bit that some people have pierced, which looks horribly painful to me, but never mind. So there is the tragus of the ear. Can you see my fingers there? Okay, just walking a bit closer. Come a bit closer so we can see the tragus of the ear, and just forward about a finger width of the tragus of the ear. I'll just turn the head so you can see it there. If I get Sue to open and close her mouth, what I should feel is that my fingers are sitting on that bone that we've palpated back, we've walked back from the eye, and the tip of the finger is then overlapping. So I'm actually on the bony bit itself, but I'm then overlapping so that the tip of my finger is into the joint. Now, if Sue opens and closes her mouth, then this is the point that I can feel. So this is where this little piece of cartilage comes across the top, it sort of links up. It's like a little sort of Chinaman's hat that sits on that little top of that mandible and articulates backwards and forwards, and there's a little ligament that can sometimes click backwards and forwards across the head of the joint there. So open and close again for me, please, Sue. Thank you. Nice and wide. The point about this is that I'm holding it from both sides, and I'm feeling the joint opening, and I can actually look at the same time. I can say, does the jaw open and close evenly? Is there a differentiation from one side to the other? Does it feel different? Sometimes you can feel it that it'll click on one side, or it'll move from one side to the other, or the jaw will go off to the left side and then do a little sort of scoot back as it comes back around. So open and close again for me, please, Sue. Nice and wide. And again, if there's a sideways movement, a lateral movement to the jaw, then we should be able to see that and feel that. So the object is to be able to identify, both from the position that she was lying in and from our palpation and from our opening and closing, whether anything's going to be changed. And we can come back and check this, so it's a very easy thing to check. All right, so tragus of the ear, slightly forward, and there's my little joint. So it should be an easy place to locate for you. I'll show you on the skeleton in a second as well.
How? Come on. They're all over there.
Okay, so alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest. He has borne me on his back 1,000 times. Right, 3, 2, 1. So we got the mandible and the temporomandibular joint, and what we're trying to do is trying to get the finger along the edge of this bone, so the tip of the finger drops in. Now we're not going to feel the joint as such because the joint's too deep and it's covered in skin and superficial fascia, and also there's a big gland that sits around here called the parotid gland, and so that's what we're sitting on mainly. So what we're looking to do is to feel the reflective movement, but what we don't want to do is feel that our fingers are too much onto the actual head of the mandible. If your fingers are being moved around, then you're in the wrong place. So the tip of the finger overlaps to get that joint, rather than the big sort of movement that we'll feel. It's a much more subtle movement. So as it opens and closes, we feel this joint moving here. Let me show you what happens if you're in the wrong place. Okay. So this is our tragus here. If I come down a little bit further, all right, now, so open and close your mouth, and as she opens and closes, can you see my fingers moving? Yeah? So the mandible itself is moving my finger, and it's my finger is being moved by the bone. So I'm not in the right place there. What I need to be is I need to be on the actual joint to feel the movement but not be moved by it. Wrong place, too far down, being moved by the head of the mandible. Right place, feeling my finger overlapping the joint. Then I've got it.